we're doing something a little different today. First off, it's Labor Day, so I have a full day without students, which is exciting, so I can make a huge mess without having to worry about them, and I can clean it all up before they get back tomorrow. So, I have a very big goal today, but I'm gonna try and take my time. I am doing a little bit of a side quest. I have a side project that I probably shouldn't be working on, but I can't help myself. I found something. I'm gonna show some video of it and pictures of it here, but
So the Montessori school next to us, Georgetown College, is getting rid of this little baby grand piano. They said parts of it are not working and no longer works for them. And so I have no idea what's wrong, but I'm gonna harvest some parts out of it. So we'll see what we do with it. But I got some plans, mainly the old spruce soundboard. I'm gonna use that to make some instruments. And I'm going to use the lovely curved frame for a bigger idea.
Here, but I found a piano that was being discarded on the side of the road from a Montessori school just a block away from the college that I teach at. And it's a little mini baby grand piano. And so I'm hoping to turn it into a tool cabinet. Now, I had some ideas for this piano. I was going to use it as a frame for an art piece or part of a sculpture or whatever else is. And then when I was talking to somebody, casually, the idea kind of comes out of your mouth. You're like, oh, I think I'm gonna do this, or maybe make it, who knows, a cabinet. And I was like, oh, well, that's what I gotta do now. So I've spent the last few days tearing it apart. Some of the parts I'm gonna discard and scrap. Some of them I'm gonna use in further projects. I have a full set of hammers already from an antique bed, misspoke, you'll hear why. An antique set of hammers from an antique piano from Georgia, where I used to live. That was actually, I built into one of my first beds for my first apartment with my wife. So I have that. I don't need hammers, I got lots of them. But I have a full set of the hammers, but I've cut them away from the keys because I'm actually going to reinstall the keys into the keyboard, or the keyboard, what do you want to say? I'm going to reinstall it into the piano so you can see that hanging out of the bottom. This is also the top of the piano. I'm going to use that. You'll see why in a while. Here's the metal cast iron bit that holds all the strings and the string tension. I'm going to scrap that unless somebody wants to come pick it up. Here are all the other parts. I have spruce, I think, feels like spruce for the bottom, and then spruce for the soundboard. The soundboard has a great label on it. I'll show some pictures of that in a second. But it's too thin for a violin, but it's thick enough for a guitar. So I might make a guitar out of that top. But I have all little bits and pieces and all the hardware, all the screws and stuff, which I'm going to reuse some of. But here is the shell. So you can see this. I'm actually going to rotate it 90 degrees, hang it on a wall, and build it into a cabinet, which I'm excited about. And the keys will be, kind of sitting in the bottom. But there's some things I got to do first. Step one, it has a unique shape to it. You can see how it has like a cutaway, and then it tapers down. So I need to make and reuse a mounting block that was here, this mounting block, that held one of the legs. but I'm gonna make it a mounting block to hold a cleat to hang on the wall. I'm gonna have to cut away part of this beam and fit it to hold a cleat to hang on the wall as well, and then one on the bottom. So that's how it's gonna hang on the wall. But it has a huge thick rim, you can see right here, that's all glued in. So the piano wall is yay thick versus being just the outside rim that I want. So I need to get rid of today this part, okay? That's the goal. I'm gonna get rid of all of this for the weight. I'm gonna get rid of all of this for the weight. And then I'll show you guys kind of the plan for what I wanna do. But this is where we're at today, making cleats and carving out all the pieces we don't need. All right, after some sweat and stuff, I've got this maple beam separated from inside of here, okay? And I've got the cleat laid out that goes here, sitting right here with the other components. I've got the cleat laid out for the main beam and the cleat laid out for the key support at the bottom. But what I have to do now is the nasty work I've been trying not to do, which is thin this wall down. So to go from close to 2 inches down to 5/8 or so. And I'm only gonna do it all the way around here and all the way around there. I don't think I'm gonna do the bottoms, and I'm definitely not gonna do where the cleat is. So the best thing I think about, I thought about using a router, I thought about using a circular saw to like chisel it out basically. But with all the curves and everything else, and I don't want to cut through the walls by accident, I'm going to drill it out, I think. So we're going to start there. We'll see how that goes. I'll let you know. All right, all the dust is settled. I'll show you what I got here. I've got the cleats glued and clamped up. So now it's time to work on the door and the bottom cleat and then put it on the wall. So I think I'll probably do the bottom cleat first, put it on the wall, and then deal with the door, just cause. All right, well, it's up on the wall. So finished out the cleats on all 3 levels. Finished taking out all of that extra weight. It was almost like a little over an inch, inch and a quarter all the way around. Got the keys reinstalled down here. I cut them off right here to take the hammers out, so you'll just see the keys. I lose the last like 2 inches of whatever I'm gonna put in here, but I think it's worth it. The other thing I added in here that took quite a while was to tailor fit a board to go from the curve around everything in here, and it's already kind of permanently attached. But this is where I'm going to have to put drawers on this side and a set of double doors on this side. Because of where everything is over here, I have my clamp rack, a flat file set, and a sink. If I made this even half, it would open up way too far out. So I'm going to have to do it as little double doors and drawers, but I'm going to have the panel right here actually still intact and fold down to reveal all the drawers. That's the plan as of now. But that's a rough work for the day. I'm gonna go home. That thing was really fuzzy. Okay. Anyhow, yeah, so I like it. I mounted it on the wall and sat on this shelf so it can hold at least 175 pounds. Down. So I think that's pretty good. So that's part 1, I guess. Anyways, let's get to making the door thing work.